Welcome to another ranking video, this time for Blind Guardian. The latest album, The God Machine, has just dropped, and it is phenomenal. It's one of the greatest albums they've done in a long time, and I love Blind Guardian. They're like one of my favourite bands of all time. Seen them live, Hansi is a god, an absolute god machine, see? And we're going to rank them. I've done this a couple of times before, but my tastes have changed, so we're going to do a new ranking. So I'm actually changing things up. We're going back to tier list setting, but we're going to do it in a different style. So you see at the top we've got my favourite. So it's only going to be one. There's going to be one in favourite and one in least favourite. The rest will be in order as well. So it is kind of like a traditional ranking, but just in a more visual sense because it's more fun and pleasing to the eye. So I thought I'd do it like this. So before I get started with this video, let me know down below how you would rank Blind Guardian albums and what you thought of the new album, because when we get to it, I'll talk about it. But first, let's go and dive right in with my least favourite Blind Guardian album. And I don't know if it's a cop-out, because my least favourite is the Twilight Orchestra. Now, this is the more, as the name suggests, more orchestral sounding Blind Guardian album, but it's not really fitting in with the rest of the catalogue. It's more like a side project, so I'm actually not going to include that. It would be my least favourite, and it's the only one I'm kind of iffy on. The rest of the albums I really enjoy, but it's not really a mainstay, so it's going to go into the pack. So my actual least favourite is going to be A Twist in the Myth. That's right, A Twist in the Myth is my least favourite. It still has songs which are amazing. It still has songs which basically kick your ass. I mean, Swords and Shadows is on this album, and I love that song. Kind of minstrel-esque song, you're dancing along. So good. Fly is on this. I love Fly. Teach you how to fly, and so good. Otherland, it has bangers, but it also has some okay songs. I wouldn't say bad, because Blind Guardian don't do bad, but it has some kind of hit and miss songs, but so it's a bit sketchy, but overall it's probably my least favourite, even though I'll still enjoy it and I'll still play it over like a lot of other bands. But yeah, something has to come last. There it is. Next up into C tier. Ooh, what am I going to put in C? I am going to put Battalions of Fear in C. It is the more speed-oriented album. It's more like an American power. Thrashy, speedy, and some people like that the best. Fair enough. You know, good for you. For me, I'm into the more European power, you know, Swords and Shadows and all that shit, you know, Lord of the Rings and stuff. But I still enjoyed it a lot. And Majesty is one of the greatest songs ever. And if we're talking about Live Beyond the Spheres, which, where is it, here? That would be like favourite tier. That would be like instant S+. Because it has like Majesty and some stuff from the early ones, and like every album on it's a free disco. God damn. But yeah, Battalions of Fear, fun, thrashy, pretty simple. It's a debut. It's pretty simple, pretty alright. Next to that, is there anything going next to that? Or is everything going to be higher? I will put Follow the Blind here as well. It's just like the early stuff. It's the second album, sophomore album. It has some classics on as well, but it's in that kind of sound. It's still not quite developed for me. Anyway, I know some people love it, but for me, I like the later Blind Guardian albums, which we'll get to soon. I mean, Banished from Sanctuary is on this album, which is a classic, and also Valhalla, Deliverance, What You Ever Forgot. When you hear that live, everyone's chanting, the whole crowd's singing. It's one of the greatest live experiences ever, and it's on this album. But overall, similar feeling as Battalions of Fear. Now we come to the next ones, which, this is getting harder now. B, A, and S. What's going to be where? Oh no, I think Beyond the Red Mirror is going to go into B. I love this album. It's more like a cinematic album. The songs are long. The songs are very epic. The Ninth Wave, I heard them play that and they opened the show when I saw them. So good live. So good. Some of the other songs on it are just kick-ass as well. But overall, I do enjoy it more than some of these albums. But compared to like The God Machine, it's not going to beat that. It's not going to come close to that. We'll get to that soon as well. Yeah, Beyond the Red Mirror, amazing album. Quite cinematic, quite epic in nature, but not my favourite. Next to that, we're going to have What are we gonna have anything else in B? I think At the Edge of Time is gonna go into B as well. This is a fan favorite. So many good songs on here as well. It kind of feels like a step up from Beyond the Red Mirror, so I'll order them like this. So the lower ones are here, and the higher ones are on the left-hand side. But At the Edge of Time just has some amazing songs on. Sacred Worlds, opening up with Sacred Worlds, mind melter of a song, and Ride Into Obsession is got to be my favourite song on the album. That's such a catchy chorus on that. Valkyries and Wheel of Time, epic song. Very epic, kind of tribal-esque sound in the middle. I love it. I'm tempted to bump it up to A now. We'll leave it where it is. Next up, A tier. Tales from the Twilight World. The Last Candle. That's all I gotta say. Absolutely phenomenal. The Last Candle is. Adore the album. Welcome to Dying. Traveller in Time. It's like hit after hit after hit, this album is. The Lord of the Rings is on here. I mean, that's just a bouncy song, a jump along song, and it's a feel-good one. Love it. Love it a lot. Anything else going to come here? Or is it just going to be that? I think next to it is going to be A Night of the Opera, but I'm actually going to put A Night of the Opera one stage higher. Top of A, be like A+ kind of tier. Now this one gets a lot of haters because it's more orchestral, kind of like Twilight Orchestra, but unlike that where it's all that, they have heavy guitars and catchy choruses and melodies, because some of my favourite Blind Guardian songs are on this album. Here on the battlefield is lost, and under the ice you will be free. Come on, how can you not sing along to those songs? And then there was Silence, the like 15-minute magnum opus. Yeah. I know the opera, amazing, but the reason it's not S is because some of the songs in the middle are kind of just pretty good. Not fantastic, but pretty good. So it's kind of like a ebb and flow album. There's peaks and valleys. Some of it's the best they've ever done, and some of it's just pretty okay. So that's why it's only here in A. And if you don't like the sound, the overblown sound, I can understand why it's lower for you, but for me, the songs that hit, Precious Jerusalem, oh, so good. So good. So that's it for A tier. We're moving on to S tier now. And I guess, should we talk about it? Let's talk about it. The God Machine. Holy shit. The artwork is already a 10 out of 10. When I listened to this album, it just blew my socks off. It's probably the heaviest one they've ever done. Let's be real. It's probably the heaviest one they've ever done. The songs on here, every single one is amazing. Like Blood of the Elves is so good. Everything's sing-alongable as well. And Secrets of the American Gods, every chorus they just somehow make real damn catchy. And probably my favourite on the album, Damnation, with Chandrian. Oh, when he screams the Chandrian, oh, tears in the eyes. It's so good. Like, Violent Shadows as well. There's so many heavy songs, so many cool riffs, so many cool solos, and every song sing-alongable. It's an S tier. It's easily S tier, and it's probably going to be my end of the year list. If not, very goddamn high. God Machine, if I was going to rank it, I'd give it a bloody 10. I would. I'd give it a 10. But Blind Guardian is one of my favourite bands of all time, so even though it's a 10, it's not my favourite 10, you know? It's a 10, it's perfect from start to finish, but there's others. So let's talk about Somewhere Far Beyond Your Reality. Somewhere Far Beyond. I have the shirt, I love it, the Bard song, the Hobbit, everything on here. I mean, my channel name is based off one of the songs on this album. That's correct. On a Quest for Tanalorn. Oh, come on. On a Quest for Tanalorn. We Lose Our Ways. Yeah. Sorry, God Machine, I've had more time with Somewhere Far Beyond. It's a classic. It's a bloody classic. It was my favourite on my last list. For now, it's dropped down a little bit. But it's still fantastic. Coming in S as well, Imaginations from the Other Side. Imaginations from the Other Side. Bright Eyes. That's all I need to say. Those two songs. Bright Eyes and Imaginations from... It has so many other good songs as well. Mordred song... Born in a Morning Hall, Mordred song, yeah, it's a classic. A lot of people's favourites. So it's got to go here on my ranking. So The God Machine may rise higher because it is a newer one, but for now, this is how we're standing. And that means my favourite Blind Guardian album has to be Nightfall in Middle-earth. Of course it is. It's the one based on the Silmarillion. The Lord of the Rings based one. Wow, who would have thought that? Yeah, it has just the best songs on. Mirror, Mirror. Blood Tears, I Cried. That song is just so emotional. Thorns. Time Stands Still at the Iron Hill. Catches Hell. Noldor. Amazing. Every song is a banger. I do kind of like it without the interludes, but it kind of gives a whole story, so it's fine. But without the interludes, 10 out of 10. Adore it. Easily my favourite Blind Guardian album. Every song hits, and it hits hard, and it's always going to be... I say always going to be my favourite, but last time it was Somewhere Far Beyond, but it's real close between these two. Real close. But there we have it. That is my ranking for Blind Guardian. What did you think of the new album, The God Machine, down below? Do you love it as much as me? Would you put it higher than some of these? Blasphemy, I know, but it's the way it is. And how would you rank Blind Guardian as well? So let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.